Welcome students, chapter number 4 of Snapshots, Albert Einstein at school. The greatest physicist who gave the theory of relativity and who is considered to be very intelligent. Many IQs have been compared to his and he is considered to be one of the most intelligent men in history. But the most astonishing fact is that this one of the most intelligent men was expelled from school. He was asked to leave the school, and the reason was that he just was in open confrontation with the teachers that he could not learn the dates. He did not like history at all. He liked mathematics. And maybe this was the reason that because of this open confrontation, the headmaster asked him to leave school. How does this whole story go? Is that we have been introduced this chapter by the conversation between Albert and his history teacher, and we understand Albert to be a boy who was just against learning dates. Then we get a conversation where he was very angry with himself and he talked to his only friend Yuri. He was an introvert. And when he told Yuri that I am not able to now study and everything, Yuri told him that you can. The same thing was told by his cousin Elsa also. Elsa also felt that Albert could do anything. He said there are more stupid boys than you, but they are able to get through. You don't have to do anything, you just have to learn everything like a parrot. So this was what she told Albert. And then we are told that, that Albert got so nervous about school that he visited a doctor. He got a certificate that if he goes to school, there'll be something wrong with him. He was very nervous about school. The doctor, who was Yuri's friend, gave him that particular written statement, and Albert was very happy. But the irony was, before he could give that certificate to the head teacher expelled him from school. Of course, you'll wonder what happened after that. Before leaving the school, he got a letter of recommendation from his maths teacher, and that's why he could get admission into a college. This doesn't go for every student. So, this particular chapter throws some light on the present education system. Is there something wrong? Does is because of this that intelligent students like Albert suffer? Maybe somewhere this sort of a thing is there, because sometimes education supports rote learning, like in history and all. It is said that you have to learn the facts, you have to mug up the facts one after the other and be able to reciprocate it in the exams. So this is what students are supposed to do. So this chapter tells you something about the present education system. So let us see what happened with Albert Einstein. The first portion is the conversation between Albert and the history teacher. In what year, Einstein asked the history teacher, did the Prussians defeat the French at Waterloo? I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? You have been told it often enough. I must have forgotten. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Braun. Mr. Braun was the history teacher. No, sir, Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. Why not? I can't see any point in learning dates. One can always look them up in a book. Mr. Braun was speechless for a few minutes because, after all, whatever Albert was saying was true. Then, you amaze me, Einstein, he said at last. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school? Yes, sir. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts? Frankly, sir, I don't, said Albert. Then you don't believe in education at all? Oh, yes, sir, I do. I don't think learning facts is education. He said learning facts is not education. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm. Perhaps you'll be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. Now he got angry because for a teacher it was very tough if a student confronts the teacher like that in the class and the teacher has to take care of so many students. They said, okay, what's the Albert theory of education? His language became quite sarcastic. Then Albert flushed, he got embarrassed. I think it's not facts that matter but ideas. He said, I don't see the point in learning the dates of battles or even which of the armies killed more men. I'd be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. That's enough. Mr. Braun's eyes were cold and cruel. We don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. You will stay in for an extra period today, although I don't imagine it will do you much good. It won't do the school any good either. You are a disgrace. I don't know why you continue to come. That if you don't want to study, why do you come to school? Because the teacher got so exasperated, so irritated. So as he got irritated, he said this, then why do you come to school? It's not my wish, sir, Albert pointed out. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. I suggest you ask your father to take you away. Albert felt miserable. Why? Just see the reason. Reason? He hated school. In every next day, he had to go to the same school. And the second reason is also given in this paragraph itself. Just see here. Albert felt miserable when he left school that afternoon. Not that it had been a bad day. Most days were bad now, anyway, but because he had to go back to the hateful place the next morning. He only wished his father would take him away, but there was no point in even asking. He knew what the answer would be because if the child says, I'll not go to school, which parent would say that you shouldn't? So here also he knew what the answer would be, okay? He would have to stay until he had taken his diploma. Going back to his lodgings was the place which he stayed. That means, did he stay with his parents? No. His parents were somewhere else. He used to study here. That means his parents couldn't afford. Even then they had sent Albert here and Albert understood this. So he had to go to school. Okay, now going back to his lodgings did not cheer him up. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had been found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. He did not mind the bad food and the lack of comfort. Maximum children complain this. Like anybody would complain that there is no proper food and there is no proper comfort. But Albert did not complain, okay? Or even the dirt and the squalor. Squalor is the disturbance that was there, okay? Dirt and squalor. But he hated the atmosphere of slum violence because Albert was a person who liked peace and he hated this sort of violence, okay? His landlady beat her children regularly, and every Saturday her husband came drunk and beat her. Okay, so there was so much violence and so much noise and everything. Albert did not like all the other things, but he hated this slum violence, okay? So why was his life miserable? I think so now all of you can answer. His life was miserable because he hated school and he had to go to school. Second, his life was miserable because he could not tell his father because he knew what the answer would be. He lived in a slum, and in a slum there was very much dirt, squalor, noise, everything. But the most important thing which he hated was the slum violence. Then, but at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening. Now sometimes it happens that we are not able to see the positive that we have. So Yuri said the positive is you have a room of your own because Yuri lived in a hostel, okay? At least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. Now, Albert found the positive in Yuri. He said, at least you live among civilized students, okay? They are not at all civilized, Yuri replied. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? Duel, a fight, okay? And what happens to the one who killed him? Nothing, of course. He is even proud of it. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. He is upset about this because he hasn't a single scar on his face to wear for the rest of his life as a badge of honor. See this child. He literally killed another boy, and he was not full of regret that I have killed somebody. He was full of regret that I don't have a single mark on my face so that I could tell others that this I got when I killed another one. Okay, so that is boy. And he said, you call them civilized? They are not. They look, but they are not. Okay, so is Albert's life miserable? Yes. Is Yuri's life miserable? Yes. But the toll was coming more on Albert. Okay, then exclaimed Albert. And these are the students? Well, you'll be a student one day, said Yuri. I doubt it, said Albert glumly. Glumly, sadly. I don't think I'll ever pass the exams for the school diploma. He told his cousin Elsa the same next time she came to Munich. Normally, she lived in Berlin, where her father had a business. I'm sure you could learn enough to pass the exams, Albert, if you tried, she said. I know lots of boys who are much more stupid than you are who get through. They say you don't have to know anything. You don't have to understand what you are taught, just be able to repeat it in the exam. What is she saying? She's saying you don't have to do anything. You just have to learn the things by heart, and that is it. Just learn the things by heart, okay? That's the whole trouble, said Albert. I'm no good at learning things by heart. Students, we call it in Hindi Ratna, and in English it is called rote learning, cramming, or mugging up the facts, okay? That's the whole trouble, said Albert. I'm no good at learning things by heart. You don't need to be good at it. Anyone can learn like a parrot. You just don't try. And yet I always see you with a book under your arm, added Elsa. What is the one you are reading? A book on geology. Geology? Rocks and things. Do you learn that? She said, I always see you with a book and you don't read. You don't study. What is that book? Said about geology. Then, no, geology, rocks and things. Do you learn that? No, we have hardly any science at school. Then why are you reading it? She said that if this book is not of use, why are you studying it? Because I like it. Isn't that a good enough reason? Elsa sighed. You're right, of course, Albert, she said, but it won't help with your diploma. She said the first thing is that all this reading has to be done other than the school books. First, what has to be done are the school books. Okay, then apart from books on science, his only comfort was music, and he played his violin regularly until his landlady asked him to stop. That wailing gets on my nerves, she said. There's enough noise in the house with all the kids howling. Albert was tempted to point out that most of the time it was she who made them howl, but he decided it was better to say nothing. I told you Albert's life was miserable, and one thing which could give him comfort was music. But the landlady did not allow him to play music. She said, this is wailing, you're crying as though. She said, no, there is enough howling in the house. So Albert was tempted to say, you make the kids howl, but he could not say anything. Okay, then I must get away from here, he told Yuri after 6 months alone in Munich. It is absurd that I should go on like this. In the end, it will turn out I have been wasting my father's money and everyone's time. It will be better for all if I stop now. This boy is mature enough. Said, I'm wasting my father's money. I'm not able to do it. I think so. This will not do. Okay. And then what will you do? Yuri asked. I don't know. If I go to Milan, I'm afraid my father will send me back. Unless his eyes gleamed with a sudden idea. Yuri, do you know any friendly doctors? I know a lot of medical students and some of them are friendly, said Yuri. Doctor? No, I've never had enough money to go to one. Why? Suppose, said Albert, that I had a nervous breakdown. Now, students, nobody can force nervous breakdown. He said, if I had a nervous breakdown, suppose a doctor would say, it's bad for me to go to school and I need to get right away from it. He said, if this will happen, nobody will force me to go to school. The school also will leave me. My father also will not say anything. I can't imagine a doctor saying that, said Yuri. I must try, said Albert, to find a doctor who specializes in nerves. That means a neurologist. There are plenty of them, Yuri told him. He hesitated for a moment and then added, rather reluctantly. Actually, he did not want to say, but then he said, okay, I'll ask some of the students if they know one, if you like. Will you? Oh, thank you, Yuri. Albert's eyes were shining. Okay, wait a moment. I haven't found one yet. Oh, but you will. And if I do, I don't know if he'll be willing to help you. He will, declared Albert. I'm going to have a real nervous breakdown to make it easier for him. Now, you can't have it, but this boy is so simple. So he said, no, I can have nervous breakdown also. Okay. Then, to make it easier for him, he laughed merrily. I've never seen you looking less nervous, remarked Yuri. A day or two at school will soon put that right, Albert assured him. He said, you are nervous. He said, if I go to school 1 or 2 days, nervousness will come. Okay. Then, certainly he had lost his high spirits when Yuri saw him next. I can't stand it any longer, he said. I really shall have a nervous breakdown that will satisfy any doctor. Keep it up then, said Yuri. I have found a doctor for you. You have? Albert's face lit up. Oh, good. When can I see him? I have an appointment for you tomorrow evening, Yuri said. Here's the address. He handed Albert a piece of paper. Dr. Ernst Weil. Is he a specialist in nervous troubles? Asked Albert. Not exactly, Yuri admitted. As a matter of fact, he only qualified as a doctor last week. You may even be his first patient. You knew him as a student then? I have known Ernst for years. Yuri hesitated for a few moments because earlier he said, I don't know. So he was hesitating, okay? He is not a fool, he warned Albert. What do you mean? Don't try to pull the wool over his eyes. That means don't try to cheat him. You can see the meaning is written on. Said, don't try to cheat him. Don't try to tell him what you have. Okay, he'll automatically find out. Okay, that's all. Be frank with him, but don't pretend you have got what you haven't. Not that you have deceived anyone, Yuri added. You are the world's worst liar. So see, as a friend, the another friend is saying you are the world's worst liar. That means Albert was very honest from inside. And this honesty was seen with Mr. Braun also. Okay. Albert spent the next day wondering what to tell the doctor. When the time arrived for his appointment, he had worried over it so much that he really was quite nervous. I don't really know how to describe my trouble, Dr. Vale, he began. Don't try, said the young doctor with a friendly smile. Yuri has already given me a history of the case. Oh, what did he say? Only that you want me to think you have had a nervous breakdown and say that you mustn't go back to that school. Oh dear, Albert's face fell. He shouldn't have told you that. Why not? Isn't it true then? Said, I know you are nervous, okay? Yes, that's the trouble. Now you'll say there is nothing wrong with me and you'll tell me to go back to school. Don't be too sure of that, said the doctor. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you are in a nervous state about the school. But I haven't told you anything about it, said Albert, wide-eyed. How can you know that? Because you wouldn't have come to me to see sorry wouldn't have come to see me about this, if you hadn't been pretty close to a nervous breakdown. That's why now, said the doctor briskly. If I certify that you have had a nervous breakdown and must stay away from school for a while, will that do? What will you do? I'll go to Italy, said Albert, to Milan, where my parents are. And what will you do there? I'll try to get into an Italian college or institute. How can you, without a diploma? I'll ask my mathematics teacher to give me something about my work, and perhaps that will be enough. This is called the letter of recommendation. Earlier, it happened that if the teacher wrote the letter of recommendation, students could get admission. Okay, then I have learnt all the maths they teach at school and a bit more. He knew all the math. Like, if we talk about history teacher, we understand Albert must be a boy who doesn't learn things. But see, he says, I have learnt all the maths and more. Okay. He added when Dr. Vale looked doubtful. Well, it's up to you, he said. I doubt if it will come off, but I can see you are not doing yourself or anyone else much good by staying here. How long would you like me to say you should stay away from school? Would 6 months be alright? This very kind of you. It's nothing. I've only just stopped being a student myself, so I know how you feel. Here you are. Dr. Vale handed him the certificate and the best of luck. How much? Nothing. If you have anything to spare, invite Yuri to a meal. He's a good friend of mine and yours too, I think. He said, no, I don't want any fees. Albert had no fees also, but he pretended. And Dr. Vale said, no, you just take Yuri out for dinner, okay? Then Albert had no money to spare, but he pretended he had and took Yuri out to supper. Isn't it wonderful? He said, after showing Yuri the certificate. He said, oh, so wonderful, okay? Yes, it's fine, Yuri agreed. 6 months is a good period. This way you won't actually be leaving the school. And if the worst comes to the worst, you'll be able to come back and carry on your diploma. So he was a good friend. He said, okay, you can come back, okay? I'll never go back to that place, Albert assured him. I'm going to take the certificate to the head teacher tomorrow and that will be the end of it, okay? Don't forget to get a reference in writing from your mathematics teacher first, Yuri reminded him, okay? Mr. Koch. Mr. Koch is his maths teacher. Students, here you'll find Albert's entirely different side. Because when he was talking to the history teacher, open confrontation, telling I can't learn dates, and see the same boy how he's defined by another teacher. Okay, so say here, if I say I can't teach you anymore and probably you'll soon be able to teach me, will that be alright, he asked. That's saying too much, sir, said Albert. He said, this is too much if a teacher says this. It's only the truth, but alright, I'll put more seriously. If a teacher says this, that you know more than me, it's a big thing for a student, okay? Then, I'm sorry you're leaving us, although you're wasting your time in my class, he said. It's almost the only class where I'm not wasting my time, said Albert. But how did you know I'm leaving, sir? You wouldn't have asked me for this reference otherwise. I thought you'd wonder. There's nothing to wonder, Einstein. I knew you were going to leave before you knew yourself. Said, I knew you are going to leave. Now Albert said, why? Why is this all happening? The head teacher expelled Albert already. Like he had made up his decision. So he must have talked to the teacher. All the teachers. That's why maths teacher knew it. Okay. You see, he soon found out. Before he had a chance to ask for an interview with the head teacher, he was summoned to the head's room. Summoned, called. Well, it saves me the trouble of having to wait an hour or two outside, he thought. He hardly bothered to wonder why he had been sent for, but vaguely supposed he was to be punished again for bad work and laziness. Well, he had finished with punishment. He said, now I'm finished. If he says anything, I'll show him this certificate. Okay, then. I'm not going to punish you, the head teacher said to Albert's surprise. Your work is terrible, and I am not prepared to have you here any longer, Einstein. I want you to leave the school now. Leave school now? Repeated Albert, dazed. That's what I said. You mean, said Albert, that I am to be expelled? You can take it that way if you wish, Einstein. The head teacher was not mincing words. Not mixing words. The simplest thing will be for you to go on your own accord and then the question won't arise. But, said Albert, what crime have I committed? He said, what did I do? Okay, students, this is the fact. He was leaving the school, but now when he was expelled, he was feeling very bad. Okay. Your presence in the classroom makes it impossible for the teacher to teach and the other pupils to learn. You refuse to learn, you are in constant rebellion, and no serious work can be done while you are there. Students, just see, it's a repetition of what the history teacher said. Just now, maths teacher said, you know more than me, and now the head teacher says that what the history teacher has said. We find two aspects of the same coin. For one teacher, Albert is something else. For another teacher, Albert is something else. Then, Albert felt the medical certificate almost burning a hole in his pocket. I was going to leave anyway, he said. Then we are in agreement, at least, Einstein, the head teacher said. For a moment, Albert was tempted to tell the man what he thought of him and of his school. Then he stopped himself without another word, holding his head high. He stalked out. Okay? Shut the door after you, shouted the head. Albert ignored him. The head teacher was shouting, shut the door. But he ignored the teacher and came out so angry. Okay? He walked straight on out of the school where he had spent 5 miserable years. Without turning his head, he gave to give it a last look. He could not think of anyone he wanted to say goodbye to. Indeed, Yuri was almost the only person in Munich he felt like seeing before he left the town he had come to hate almost as much as the school. He hated the school, that's why he started to hate Munich also. Okay. Elsa was back in Berlin and he had no other real friends. Goodbye and good luck, said Yuri when he left. You're going to a wonderful country. I hope you will be happier there. So this is the end when we understand how Albert was expelled from school. So the first question that will come in your mind is how one student is judged in a different manner by different teachers. The reason is the liking towards that particular subject. And do you think so that the school system curbs individual talents? Yes, maybe sometimes. That's why nowadays you must have seen there is a change in the education system, and the new education policy also will pay utmost attention to the skill of the student also. So that's why this education system has to be changed now. Okay, thank you.